What's up, everyone? John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here with an unboxing of one of my favorite devices of CES 2013. This is Sony's latest flagship, the Xperia Z. It's rocking a 1080p 5-inch screen, HDR video, quad-core processor, and a ton of other awesomeness that Sony is hoping is going to carry them to the top of the smartphone heap. We'll be the judge of that, though. Let's go ahead and open this guy up and take a look. Alright, so here is the Sony Xperia Z in a pretty nondescript box. You got a picture of the device on the front with, kind of funnily enough, Walkman branding. Sony is still using that Walkman brand. So all the specs here on the back, but of course we're going to run through that. That is of interesting note. This was announced with its brother, the Xperia ZL. The Z, though, has some waterproofing on here and some dust proofing. I certainly wouldn't go swimming with the phone, but if it gets caught in a rainstorm, you don't have to worry. Alright, so let's go ahead and open her up. I will use my unboxing scissors and we will take a look at this guy. I remember when we saw it at CES, I was taken away by how solid the phone felt in the hand. We'll see if that translated over from the concept that we saw back in January to the retail version that we've got right now. And speaking of retail version, no US carrier has announced that they're going to pick this guy up. This was sent to us from our friends at Negri Electronics, so if you want to pick one of them up, link will be down below. It's where we get all of our unlocked phones from, and you guys should too. We'll go ahead and take off the box here, and boom! Nothing else in the top. There is the Xperia Z just chilling out. Take that out for just a moment. Push that off to the side. We've got, you don't see these shipping with phones that much anymore, a screen protector. That's nice. What else do we have inside? We've got a wall wart with that sort of adapter, but chances are you've got another one of these laying around. I believe that's what's used in the UK, but I could be mistaken. We've got a simple USB charging cable. We've got some earbud adapters, which is nice to see those included, and some Sony branded headphones, also nice, and some startup guide stuff. Push all that goodness off to the side, and let's take a look right here at the phone. Comes in black or white. We obviously have the white version, and here is the whole device. The back is white, the front though still is black. This is glass on the back of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel off the stickers and we'll run through all the specs. Very satisfying to do. It's a really good looking phone. And peel off the front. And let's see if it's got enough battery. There's no battery to put in because it is not user replaceable. We got a sort of a giant power button living right there on the side in the middle. I felt a bit of a vibrate, so it should have enough to power on. So let me tell you what we got here. We are looking at a 5-inch screen, which is 1080p. That's 1920 by 1080, which gives it a crazy PPI of 441. It's got some crazy clear black technology, and the blacks are really black and dark. Android 4.1 at launch, being powered by a 1.5 gigahertz Qualcomm quad-core chip. 2 gigs of RAM on board here, 16 gigs of storage, but micro SD card should be on here somewhere. There it is. So you can expand that up if you want. On the back, that nondescript camera is a 13 megapixel affair that can do HDR video, which I'm kind of curious to check out. Noise canceling mics living right there. That little N letting you know it's got NFC on board, and of course LED flash. On the front, we've got a 2 megapixel camera living right next to the Sony logo. All the usual stuff you'd expect here. 802.11 A, B, G, and N. 2300 milliamp hour battery. Hopefully it'll power this long enough. And it weighs 146 grams or 5.15 ounces. All right, so let's take a quick look at the phone. Let's figure out how to unlock it. Swipe up or down to unlock. We don't have any more Timescape or Mediascape like Sony used to ship on their old Xperia devices. We've got a pretty eloquent interface here. Let me go ahead and get it set up. I'll come back in just a minute and show you what it looks like. Alright, so we got the guy all powered up, and it did boot up relatively quickly. One of the fastest boot ups I've seen actually for a new phone. Let's go ahead and start the tour, then we'll run through all of this business. On the left hand side, living under a flap is your micro SD card. We've got 2 connectors, presumably for external docking accessories. That will be coming soon. We've got a seam here almost where the screen is, and it's being powered by Sony's Bravia engine. Really nothing here on the bottom. We got some barcodes, and it looks like a little area for a lanyard in the corner. On the right hand side, we've got a downward placing volume rocker up and down. It's a little further down than I've seen on most devices, and a very pronounced camera button right there. It looks like there's a little door beside that. for where the SIM card is going to live, and that's where that guy is going to go. I'll close that up. Up top, underneath another little flap, we've got a 3.5mm headset jack. And you're probably saying, why are there so many flaps for all the connections? And again, that harkens back to the waterproofing or water resistance-ness of this phone. All right, so let's take a quick look at what we got here. So it's running Android 4.1.2, and here is Sony's skin, and it's not as heavy as it once used to be, but they did do a couple interesting things. Let's go ahead and start with the on-screen buttons down here. So it is a 5-inch screen, but you definitely lose a little bit of that real estate because of these buttons. If you hit the multitasking window, you're greeted with not only your multitasking options, which you can swipe away if you want to close, but all kinds of little widgets that you can actually put on top of the desktop. Let's take a look at the calendar one here. You just select it, and then there's a calculator one rather, and you can go ahead and do all your calculations, whatever you want. And you can do it on top of really anything you're at and close it when you're done. So a very handy way to access things. And there are a few here that'll work. You've got settings, notes, and some others. If we continue scrolling, you can see some of Sony's customized widgets, but I'll show you what the rest of those are. If you go ahead and long press, you can access widgets, apps, wallpapers, or themes. Let's go ahead and start with widgets. And you can see how Sony's got them arranged. Not that many appear to be customized by Sony, but certainly a few. So all the Sony stuff, the Music Unlimited, is here. The rest of it are pretty stock Android. The tools widget is kind of neat. You can scroll through the different options that you use the most, and pretty standard array of widgets. If we go back, you can jump right into apps, wallpapers, or themes. Themes is something unique. You can go ahead and pick sort of different styles that you like. HTC has something very similar, but it does work, and you can pick whatever mood you appear to be in. We've got it set for the default Xperia one here. Let's go ahead and jump into apps, and there's some fun stuff that can go on here. First, we have it selected for own order, which means you can reorder these any way you want, which is a little nice tweak. Otherwise, you can view them by alphabetical, most used, or recently installed. So that's handy. They're kind of letterboxed in, which is a bit weird. And you've got sort of the Sony ones that come shipped, Walkman, album, movies, and Sony Select. And Walkman's pretty much just going to take you to your music. I'll show you what that looks like right there. You can go ahead and jump back. That was a pre-selected music on here. We'll continue the tour. We've got sort of the general Android stuff that's on here, some Video Unlimited stuff that's default to Sony, some PlayStation stuff here as well, and then the rest of the sort of standard things that you see. Media Remote is kind of interesting, Social Life, and Play Memories and such are here. A few other tweaks that we see. If you pull this down, you've got sort of some nice looking shortcuts there. Go ahead and swipe that up. The screen here is very nice looking. It's a 1080p screen, similar to what we see on the Droid DNA. And speaking of the Droid DNA, let me go ahead and bring that guy in so you can see for comparison purposes. Both 5-inch screens, but sort of different layouts. You can see what they look like side by side. Certainly the Xperia Z looks to be a little bit on the chubbier side, but it definitely has a great feel to it. The HTC build quad I think is outstanding. I think Sony has done a very nice job of matching it here. So certainly a personal preference, whatever you prefer. Looking at the back of the devices, you've got the glass back versus sort of that matte soft touch finish. Both though bring a lot to the table and certainly are in direct comparison. This is hopefully going to be Sony's flagship device, at least the company is hoping, for the next year or so. They've had a hard time getting their flagship devices in the hands of US carriers. So they're, again, hopeful that the Xperia Z will be the first one that'll do that. Again, though, if you want to pick this guy up, you can pick it up from our friends at Negri Electronics. We'll be putting it through its paces, giving it a full review, and letting you know what we think about the Sony No More Ericsson Xperia Z. If anything you guys want to see, leave them in the comments down below. If you're interested in the phone or you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. We definitely appreciate it. Check us out at technobuffalo.com for the latest and greatest tech news. I'm John Rettinger. I'll see you in the next video.